Hello everyone, so a little while ago I made a video where I went over kind of like the first 4 bosses in the raid, gave you guys tips on how to do the best as a Havoc Demon Hunter on those fights. Well, I'm far enough into the raid now where we're going to do the same thing but for Larodar, Nymue, Smolderon, and Tindral. I haven't killed Tindral, but we're progging P3 now and I'm pretty comfortable giving you guys tips and stuff about how to do well on that fight. So like the video, comment, subscribe. We're pushing towards 10k now, so thank you all so much for that. Also check out G Fuel, use code Voodoo at checkout, or link in the description for 20% off and a little bit to support me. So thank you guys for watching, and let's go into a little bit of boss tips and tricks. So we're gonna start with Larodar. Now for each boss, I'm gonna give you guys kind of the talent build I would recommend, and then talk a slight bit about embellishments, and then go over the fight. For talent build, just play the single target build. You'll see on some like websites, there's like a Fel Barrage build with this. I wouldn't really recommend that. I don't think that's going to be better for you. I think most of the time you're just gonna kill all the treants before that ever actually matters, or this is just padding. Same thing with like Ragefire. I just don't think you'll ever actually get good Ragefire value these days off of it. The treants just die so fast. So I would just play this normal build. In terms of embellishments, I think you have high enough HP during the whole fight to use Blue Silken Lining. I use this on most fights just because it's what I have. However, you can also use Toxic Boots, which I have in my bag somewhere right here, and it won't really matter too much. So you really can use either. I personally use the Mastery for a little bit more damage to treants, a little bit more AoE. I think that's probably going to be the best bet if you want to parse the highest, but I don't think the difference is major. You can play either and do well. So, you know, either of them works. No real winners or losers. Play this build, and then let's go on to the fight. The first thing we're going to do here is look at lorgs. So this is lorgs.io. It's a great way of showing when people are using cooldowns on a fight. You can get a nice little timeline of everything here. This is for Larodar, and the important thing to notice here is that people are metaing early before Essence Break. Generally speaking, you kind of meta on the treants, and then also holding their second meta at till around the 2-minute mark here. So you can see they're not holding Essence Break to line up here because generally speaking, you want to just Essence Break the ads, and if you hold meta for the Essence Break after this here, you're gonna miss lust. Most see here, so most people are lusting around this point. So by metaing at around 8 seconds, 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and roughly 4 minutes and 20 seconds, 15 seconds or so, you're gonna get the best usage out of your meta. You can see most of the top logs are doing something similar to this, and then there's just this Fel Barrage guy, so go off. But if you hold it, so you see you do something like this person here, you hold it till about 222, you're gonna miss lust completely, which is not good. You want to have meta during lust. That's just going to be the best moment, like the best for you. I actually, so we can highlight lust here. You'll see that these lusts overlap with when it's all happening, and these people are just getting one Essence Break. So generally better to do those weird holding things. So you want to Essence Break around 13 seconds or so, 57 seconds, and then you're going to hold it kind of till 2 minutes. Use it on the treants, and then at roughly 209 you want to just flat out meta. It's going to be a little bit weird. You're not going to get your double death sweep, but it lines up so much better later on in the fight where you do end up getting Essence Break into Metamorphosis, which of course is what you want to end up doing. So if we swap back over to this here, now these are all on Twitch, so if you want to check out the clips without me talking over them, they're on Twitch. Some of them are scuffed. Larodar's a little scuffed, Nymue's a little scuffed, Smolderon's a little scuffed. None of them have been like super I don't know, I haven't killed them a ton of times. Normally like re-cleared like twice, I think, and then we just extended. This is my second kill of this. It's not very optimized, and then I think Smolderon is just a kill, and then Tindral is just prog. But you know, is what it is. So I kind of do what I'm talking about here. So we start off the fight, and you'll see me hold my meta until the ads are out. Now, I think it's a little better if you kind of just rip your I-beam on pull here. So you I-beam like around here, then you do your Essence Break combo and get it all on the ads kind of as they spawn. I do think it's a little bit better. I kind of just sat there for a long time with doing nothing, which isn't what you want to do, but you do want to do that meta delay. So the important part there is just hitting the ads as much as possible. Which is just important. Here on the fire, you want to make sure you're standing on the edge, which, you know, obviously we do. And then you're going to lose downtime whenever the boss goes into the shit, which is, again, nothing you can really do about that. The other important part of the fight is this. So these things spawn orbs. So these roots go out and they spawn little orbs. I went and collected one there, so we'll back it up a little bit. It's going to be a little hard to see. because of just the quality and stuff. Trying to be as hard as I can, but whatever. So these all spawn orbs. They come from the apex. There's one right here, and you see it's gonna start moving in, and I walk into it and take it. So when that happens, you get a dot on you and 20% crit, and then later on you kind of get them and they do a ton of damage. So after it goes away, you take a ton more damage from those orbs. Now, the important part of this fight is just trying to get as many of those orbs as possible. Now, you can live 1 comfortably, 2 you want to blur, and 3 you can blur, but you'll be a little low HP. So it'll be rough, but you can do it. I wouldn't go over 3 unless you plan on like immuning the entire dot, which will, I'm not really sure that's viable. But 2 to 3 is how many you generally want to do. You try and collect them when you're going to Essence Break. This would be a great set to collect because we have Essence Break up. And again, there's another ad up, and we're just going to try and cleave onto that ad. So that's kind of the first area. You don't want them to hit the boss. We let 3 in there. It doesn't really matter. But for the first phase, that's kind of what you're doing. If we skip ahead to the roughly 2 minutes here. So I should be saving this Essence Break combo. I use it here, which I don't think is really recommended. Oh no, I actually did save it. So there's ads coming up in like 5 seconds, which is what you want to do it on. I thought I sent it. I didn't. Look at me go. Growth. So we'll send on the ads here, which is what you want to do. And then I do the dumb thing of saving meta, which you don't want to save meta. Like we talked about on Lorgs, you want to just kind of send it. So meta should come up in like 13 seconds here. We're almost 2 minutes into the fight, and I save it, which is dumb. So don't do that. Just send it. And that's kind of the first stage. So if we get into the last stage, I just skippity-doo ahead a bit here. You can see we go into kind of the intermission around, I think, this mark. Nope, not. It'd be after this, I believe. Let me see. We push at 35. Yeah, that was me charging out the fire to get uptime. So we push around here. So I ate that. That's the second one. I didn't have a blur up. If you blur that, you're fine. Just hurts. Then we go into intermission, and I have nothing here. You can see that if I had saved my meta, I would have Essence Break coming up. But because I held meta way earlier, I don't have it for Lust, which is not good. So don't do that. And then finally in P3, there's not too many stuff happening. Tanks are going to soak off you, and then you're just kind of dealing the boss. There's treants on the outside that you CC. They can come in, and that's going to be some cleave if you can get that going on, but it's not really that important. At this point, it's kind of just single target, kill the boss. If ads come in, cleave onto them if possible, but otherwise, like, nothing too crazy. This was not a good fight, not a good pull for me, not a good fight for me. I messed up a lot of things. However, next time we come through, it should be a bit better. So that's that for Larodar. So let's move on to Nymue now. So over Nymue, exact same thing as Larodar. Play this build. It's a very pure single target fight, so I do think that Toxic Boots is a bit better. My boots aren't max eye level yet. They will be by the time I get back there. Crashes and things. So I used BSL, but it's roughly the same. I think BSL uptime is in the 50%, which is roughly equal to the Thorn Boots, but I do think Thorn Boots would be a little bit better on that fight because there's literally no AoE, so you can just have consistent all the time damage from those boots. So play boots, play the normal build, and then in terms of actually doing damage, we look at Lorgs here, nothing too crazy. It's kind of just a use everything on CD fight. Lost on pull, use things, just don't hold things, just use them and don't miss a use. If you're trying to parse, it's going to be important that you kill before the third shield. The third shield happens in this area. You can see in the clip one that I'll show, we're a little bit off from it, but very important you kill in the 5-minute range if you want to parse on this fight, because each of these shields takes like 30 some seconds. So very important to do that. I get sent to the second shield, so we'll cover that. And on this fight, the thing that I hear a lot of people talk about is these kind of lines on the ground. Don't worry about them. They don't matter at all. You can easily take 2-3 stacks. Here I have 3 stacks of dot. I'm perfectly fine. Like, you do not need to worry about those at all. I did also think I messed up my opener in this, but it doesn't really matter. So you kind of just want to fell rush around, and the only lines to actually look out for are going to be the cutter lines that stun you. So that's really the important part. Other than that, you want to just kind of be soaking flowers as much as possible. There's going to be a red flower that spawns right over there. So I'm going to make my way over there, and that's very important to spawn. Now, this red flower is just on the edge of melee range. You can kind of see it here. Again, quality is a little low, but sorry. But you can see here, so this outline here is the red flower, and then this red circle is the boss. and it's just able to be meleeed while you're standing on the edge of it. So it's important, again, as Havoc or as any melee, to just kind of stay on this upper range of this circle, just because you need to maintain DPS uptime while you're doing this. So you just want to be dancing back and forth within the little stun circles. These lines will stun you if you get hit by them while doing your rotation. Nothing too crazy. And just kind of looking out for cutter lines and everything like that. So again, you just want to send basically everything on cooldown. Do a little backflip combo, and then I just essence break, yada yada yada. The first stage isn't where it gets crazy. I think on the second stage, we kind of go over, we do the add, I send essence break here, not that big of a deal, yada yada yada, just kind of sending everything on cooldown. I believe it's during this portion where one of them comes up during cutter beams. Nope, not here yet. I think it's the next one. There you go. So this one comes up during lines. So it's important, as you know, you're doing damage, to just do this without actually losing uptime there. So I managed to do that with doing full uptime. You just kind of dodge through the beams. You can fel rush kind of this way if you need to, or kind of dance between. Important to remember that the beams kind of expand as they go out too. So you want to try and be as close to boss as you can, because the beams are the narrowest, and you can kind of dodge in between. You can go farther out, dodge this way. Generally not too bad. Also, the gap between the two sides, because it's kind of split in half for the beams, are going to be bigger as well. So here is a bigger fel range gap, fel rush, than over here, which is kind of like the biggest important part. So here I'm being sent to the middle, which is probably the last part of the fight I want to talk about. So I immune that, and this gives me the little green thing on the bottom here. So we look back here, maintain uptime as long as you can, obviously, on the boss. But I go in, I pop Nether Walk right as it's about to finish the cast here, so about less than a second before, and I get a little buff on me that puts this trail. The trail makes you immune to the line on the ground from the dot. So let me just come in here, and it's important here to stay kind of in one quadrant and kind of just dance back and forth from this really hard to see frontal. That's kind of it. When I fel rush, I think I lose a use here, which obviously don't do. But I kind of just fel rush straight back and forth. You can fel rush across the line. There's a lot of damage going on in this bubble, and you only have one healer. So depending on your group, depending on like how you feel comfortable with like living and stuff, I would be careful doing that. I don't even know if I use my personal here, because we got this to a pretty good point by then. But here I've ended up saving everything, and I think the ad dies before I get a full essence break out, because we're going to execute. At that point, he's just melting. So I think at this point I shouldn't have used essence break. He dies with about 2 seconds left of the buff, so I think I should have held that. This guy is late, so we have to go over and help him out, which obviously you don't want. You're just losing uptime and stuff, but it happens. And then I get stuck on soaking duty. So don't get stuck on soaking duty. Have your tanks do that. And then we're back on the boss, and we're DPSing. So that's kind of the whole fight. It just kind of rinses and repeats. There's other points here where you just want to DPS through the flower lines again. So here you're kind of dancing back and forth. I did a backflip while these are going out. Obviously that's a little spooky, but you can do it. You can also fel rush onto these roots over here in P1. So you fel rush through there. So it's all about just getting practice and avoiding those beams. Nothing too crazy. I do think this boss is pretty easy once you get a hang on it, and it's just kind of practice. So that's that for that one. Next, we're gonna go on to Smolderon. So same old song and dance for Smolderon. Play the single target build. Smolderon specifically, I do think boots are better. They can do more amp damage on the whatever the buff you get. It very much depends on your healers though. Definitely some healer comps and people I've seen get high enough uptime to make them worth it. Depends where you are in prog. There's a lot of factors there. Again, both are fine. Now the big thing is you want to go out and get yourself a Midas Talisman. Midas Talisman is a pretty good trinket. They buffed it by a lot this patch, like 70-80%, or else it would be garbage. But I have a 49 one, and basically makes your next 5 auto attacks deal an extra like 100,000 damage, at least at this high level. And that does scale with the buff that you get from Smolderon intermissions. So very interesting there. You want to kind of pop it 13 seconds or so before pull, and then you'll have it every intermission. So your auto attacks will do the 106,000 extra, but you also get 25% bonus damage on top of that. So it is a crazy trinket. I think it was doing like 10%, 8%, 8 to 10% of my damage on Smolderon, which is just a crazy number. So get one of these. You will not regret it. And then let's go on to the fight review. So actually for Lorgs, if we look really quick here on Smolderon, there's kind of two different piece of thought. I think you should hold your second essence break for here. I don't think sending is worth it. Yeah, you might say, oh, this person did 300k versus this. That doesn't really matter. It's not because of that. We also have other ones where people didn't hold it down here. Holding it means you get much better lining up through the rest of the fight, and you also don't have to send essence break during like tornadoes and stuff. So it makes it a lot safer if you just hold your second essence break to here. I think it's way better to do so. Just do that. Trust me. See here, Midas Talisman, also want to have it there. If you use it pre-pull, you'll also get it there. So that's just a little talk there. You want to send meta on cooldown and then hold for Lust at the third intermission as well. It's just kind of the best way to do it. If we look at my clip here, you can see I've tried to cut it so that we have my pre-pull actions here. I pop it at roughly 13 seconds before we pull. The buff is hidden by my donator whatever things, and it does stay up for that. Potting, I don't think really matters, but when you're committing your pot, some people do it on pull. Most people do it on pull, actually. Some people do it first intermission. I would just send pull, and you'll get it again towards the end here for like kind of like the last World in Flames. But I think it's a bit better. If you send here at first intermission, you won't really get it for the last world. You won't really get it at the end, right? So pull and then World in Flames 4, I think is the best, just personally. But you can do first intermission if you want. I don't remember if I ended up moving it to pull or not. No, I think we were still doing it first intermission. So, you know, nothing too crazy there. But important things here for dodging flames. So there's only 4 tornadoes now, which is really, really easy. So what you're gonna do, what you want to do is kind of just dodge into someone else's pocket is kind of the easiest way. There I didn't really need to, and obviously you want to cluster up for those baits. But you make these little pockets, and then if you go into somebody else's, you're dodging theirs and you can dodge yours. So I think that's the really easiest thing to do. Orbs come out, there's a macro you push, just be careful with those, nothing too crazy. And then we're gonna get another overheated tank soak here, where we just kind of stand in the middle. We stand here, we get our, we split the damage from the tank soak, and then we kind of rotate around this way once the fire starts dropping, which is kind of just the way to do it. I was late here, so you have to be a little bit careful if you're late, but it's not too bad. I don't think this fight's that hard after these little things. So here I'm holding everything for first intermission, which I think is way better. So I go up, I just stay on boss. Boss is going to knock you back. Just maintain uptime, do your damage here. I should have blade dance, whatever. I go in, I'm going to start collecting my orbs during this intermission here. The orbs do damage to you, so just be careful. I backflip through there, which is a little dangerous, but generally speaking, you'll be fine. So we're just doing a ton of damage here because we have the 25% extra damage done. So we'll skip ahead a bit here. I want to show you guys one more tornado soak. I didn't get it there. So I got it here. So you'll see me kind of, I think I will bait into somebody else's circle here. That's just the easiest way. So I go over there, kind of align myself to dodge my own and theirs. And then at that point, it's pretty easy to dodge the rest of them. So I got an orb on me. So I did my macro. I'm going third. So this is going to be a little bit scuffed because I'm third in the set, which means that I'm going to get my orb kind of very last. So I bait away so that those don't come in. I just go out so that I drop my things. I go grab them during the second one, and then I can just blast a bit here. Now I didn't do my, oh no, I did it. I did inertia. I thought I didn't. Well, whoops. And I just do damage. So I'm gonna skip ahead to the third one. So just show you guys all the intermissions. I think that's the most important part. So I'm holding my meta here for Lust here. And then again, I can kind of collect these during the first one. This one, you have a ton of uptime. It's a little bit weird. You can just be in 1 or 2 the whole time. I kind of screwed up the whole little rotation here. I definitely had a little bit of brain bug because I was just focused on killing the boss. We haven't re-cleared, they haven't done anything like that. But it's pretty simplistic, I think, to kind of just do your damage and dodge everything. So we're not going to dwell too much longer on Smolderon. Hopefully that helps you guys see it. And let's move on to Tindral. So finally for Tindral, this is the build I would play. Now, one big caveat here is that this is specifically 2 blast roots and treants. That is Havoc's job in this fight. Your single target is just kind of mediocre, so why would you do that when your burst AoE is so powerful? So this is the build for that. You can do a little bit more single target damage if you drop these points out for these, which is totally fine, and you can do that. But again, I think that Havoc's job is just to do this. At the very least, you can drop Blind Fury for this if you want, but I would play Isolated Prey. I think it's really, really good. It allows you to kind of pre-cock your immolation auras to kind of get the Rage Fire buildup that explodes as soon as the roots come out, because you can have Immolation Aura always crit against one target. So I would play this. Fell Barrage is insanely important to blow down really bad root sets. Glaive Tempest is a very strong cooldown for those root sets. So your whole thing is just blasting roots. On that note, this is what I'm playing currently. I don't have a passive. Like, I think Augury or Signet Brand would be really good here. I'm using Branch to line up with meta on shields and on pull. And I'm using Ashes to line up with Fell Barrage once every platform or so. You really want to get yourself an Ashes. It's so good with Fell Barrage. You just absolutely blast all the treants, and then you just kind of win. So Havoc's job is to just blast treants on the fight, and roots and stuff. Our damage for single target is nothing insane, and you lose a lot of AoE if you swap to it, because you can play Essence Ray instead of Fell Barrage. But I do think Fell Barrage would be better for you overall. And if you're trying to optimize single target damage, trying to have like hunters or other people like that go more single target, where you can stay blasting roots, because Demo Locks and Havocs are kind of the best at just doing that root damage. If we swap over to the fight, actually I did want to talk about logs first. So you're going to want to meta on pull, and then meta all the shields. And then for Fell Barrage, you want to save it for the 50-second mark, where you pop Potion, you pop Ashes, you pop kind of everything there. And then again on like the 3:15 mark. And then after that, it's roughly split. Most people doing it at 445 roots or 546 roots. Either one of those works. But again, everybody does it here. Everyone does it here. So important to remember that. Don't even lust for shield as well. I do think that's better for boss damage. Don't Metamorphosis here. It's not worth it. So we get over to the clip here. Now again, we haven't killed it. I pop my orbs pre-pull here just to collect them, because we move pretty quickly afterwards. And I'm just kind of doing single target rotation, nothing too crazy. We'll skip ahead to the first part here. So at this point, I screwed up. No, I didn't screw up. So at this point here, I pop my Immolation Aura basically as soon as he becomes a bird. And what's that doing is it's collecting Rage Fire value, also holding Glaive Tempest, against a single target, and it'll blow up basically as soon as the roots come out. So I drop my Glaive Tempest, I drop my Blade Dance, and then my Immolation Aura explodes as the roots are coming out, and you do pretty good damage to it compared to like these people have the Fire Seeds. Some of them are just hunters doing full CDs and stuff. And then here we go into the big move. And this is the important one, where you set up for the 50-second root set. So I pop my Immolation Auras here, I get in place, pop Trinket, pop HP Potion, pop Fell Barrage, and then I go into Nether Walk. So you need Nether Walk because Havoc is rooted, and you can Nether Walk the beams themselves to survive. But while you're Nether Walk, you can actually use I-Beam. You can use I-Beam and Tindral Flame. That's going to be really important. So while you're sitting there rooted, if a beam is coming to you, you pop Nether Walk and then pop I-Beam. And because you're using Blind Fury, not only is that I-Beam going to do a ton of damage to all the treants and stuff, it's going to let you actually keep your Fell Barrage up. Now on top of that, Sigil Flame can also be used, so if you have to sit there for a long time, you can use Sigil Flame and that. Again, it's going to just depend on what you need in that moment. I think I actually ripped thread of a bunch of treants there, but I'm doing so much damage I leech through it. And then I just follow through. So we'll show that one more time. So set up in a good spot. I pop Fell Barrage, pop all my potions and stuff. I see the beam is coming, and then I'm going to use Nether Walk. And then Nether Walk comes through. I use I-Beam to kind of, while in Nether Walk, see the buff is still here, and I drop Sigil Flame as well while in Nether Walk. So it's important to remember that. If that gets fixed, I don't know what to tell you. We might be a little screwed. Yeah, the treants coming all melee me, which is kind of funny. Then I just kind of backflip out, GT, hunt back in. You can see I'm blasting meters right now. So important to remember that. Then we go up. The dragon riding's fun. Me and this guy here were always kind of making sure which route is which. Sometimes my feather would spawn in the fire and I'd be shifted, and it's annoying and whatever. But, pretty good overall. Fly up, grab your bomb. I would recommend doing 3 there, your little swirl, just to get faster. Come in, land down, slam onto all the little fire tornado adds, rip the evoker. He should have went this way or something. He would have been fine. And then we're on to P2. So while you're flying, it doesn't really matter too much. Just try not to hit the little orbs. Do your little trick. And then we get here, and this is when meta is really important. So meta on the shield is really, really good. At this point, we were doing healer lust. I do think eventually we'll move lust back to here for damage. So I pop my orbs, I pop all my DPS, and we just blast into the shield. You can get some boss damage here. You have the buff before he actually starts casting Supernova. You have about 5 seconds to DPS the boss before you actually get the shield. So we did about 2% there, and then we just kind of go into the shield and blast him. It's pretty easy to meet this shield, especially if you're lusting here. I do think this is probably the best place to lust, just for damage, because you have all your cooldowns rolling, and it helps you get through the shield faster, which means you need to put less into damage, like into healing and stuff. And then we go into Falling Star and all this. Again, I do the same thing here. Generally speaking, I free Immolation Aura as soon as he turns into a bird. He turns into a bird, I pop Immolation Aura, I hold all my stuff for the roots to come up, move into position, and then you just kind of cleave all the roots as they come out. Glaive Tempest, Death Sweep, Immolation Aura. Then we get to Seeds. So Seeds for Havoc, generally your role is to kind of go float far and kind of pick up any last minute ones. There, I saw that no one else was going there, so I went and got it. And then we move into the hardest root set of the platform, where you have to go out, do seeds, then come in and get roots. So we do it well here. I just grab one, I call for right, we go in, I pop Darkness, and then I do all my Sigil Flame, everything like that, and just kind of blast everything here with Fel Barrage again. I didn't get the full duration. Oh no, I did actually get the full duration. I thought I mixed it, but I did not. I break this guy out, and then it's roots. Then it's feathers, sorry. So I grab my feather here. Technically that was my feather, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Go up, I grab my 4th orb, and then I fly back down, slam here, do roots, and then we wipe, because somebody doubles, I believe. I don't know who it was. I think it was over here somewhere. Yeah, someone doubled, and then we die. But pretty fun fight. I enjoy it. That's kind of the thing there. So we'll go back to the game here. I just want to show you guys that you can indeed I-beam while on Nether Walk. So if I just need to go to a target dummy real quick. Fly over there right quick. So I'm going to just kind of build up Fury here. So we're at 40 Fury, which is enough. I'm going to pop Nether Walk. I can't use abilities. I can use I-beam, and I can use Sigil Flame, but nothing else works. And now it's out and we can do it. So weird tech that you should remember, but it's very, very useful for that fight. So that's kind of going to be it though for this video today. A little bit of a long one, but these bosses are complex and I want to give you guys little tips on it. So hope you guys found this useful. Good luck in all these fights. I'll do one more for Fyrakk whenever we get that guy down in like a month probably. I don't know. I should be on him soon. And yeah, I think these fights are fun. I think Havoc is fun. Obviously, we got nerfed a bit. We're not as good, but we're still very strong and very powerful. Any questions, let me know. Drop it down below. I'll try and answer them. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. Help me push towards 10K, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Big thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you, Fidi Gregory, Andrew Kino, Guillermo Lamas, Joshua O'Connell, Latand, Period, Brad Wisniak, Zuligan, It's Bulk, Magic Man 133, and Howley. Thank you all so much. Your support helps me make the content every week and keeps me going on this channel. Thank you all so much. If you want to support me, follow the link in the description to become a channel member. And again, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.